Welcome to the Full Tracy Monday Audio Commentary. This is Owen Tracy recording 4:03 p.m. That is Central Time. Today is July 2nd. Well, we had plenty to report on today. On the one hand, you have the UK, where the Chancellor of the Exchequer is crying during Prime Minister's question time. And that's not something you see every day. Of course, it might be tears of frustration because the plans that she had for cutting back on spending have gone up in a cloud of smoke. So that's simply not going to happen. And there was a violent reaction in the bond market where the gilt yield was up, I think it was 15 basis points by the close. But we also had higher bond yields elsewhere. Then there is the additional question around what exactly is the Trump administration doing? On the one hand, they announced that a trade deal with Vietnam has been agreed. So they're going to impose a 20% levy on exports from Vietnam. Anything that's transshipped through Vietnam will attract a 40% tariff. So that's basically taking aim at the Chinese companies that are manufacturing in China, shipping to Vietnam, having those products finished off or labels attached in Vietnam and then sent onwards. That's been a very significant business opportunity or business trend since really the first Trump administration. And countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia have been big adherents to it. So that's obviously part of the trade negotiations. Then, in return for all of that, Vietnam is going to be accepting the USA's exports with no tariffs. So it's, to put it mildly, a pretty uneven way of thinking. But of course, it's also worth considering that several of the biggest manufacturers in Vietnam are US companies. So Nike, for example, is a big manufacturer in Vietnam. And then there are several solar panel companies that have their manufacturing in Vietnam as well. So that's also part of this whole questioning. Now, when we think about the other things that the Trump administration are doing, well, cutting back on arms shipments, particularly air defense, to Ukraine, seems to be running directly in opposition to what the president had to say less than a week ago. So that's obviously something that's important to consider. Then we've had rather dynamic moves today in copper, in platinum. Gold was firm. And then Bitcoin was up in quite a dynamic manner. We had a relatively strong performance in Wall Street today, with the Nasdaq reversing its underperformance from yesterday, and